What is up, everybody? Welcome to season 2 of Call Her Creator. I think we had a wonderful ride during season 1 talking about Instagram growth and my creator journey and how you can get started making money online, doing the things that you love. Call Her Creator is powered by Stan, and we are getting into season 2. So this season, I really want to focus on monetization. I know that there are so many of you out there that are trying to grow your account, struggling to do so, trying to make money, struggling with that. Then you're doing all kinds of things too in your outer life. So with this podcast, I'm hoping that I can walk you through the baby steps that it takes to actually make money from your social media accounts. So for today's episode, to kick us off for season 2, we are going to be talking about how you can create your first digital product. So during today's episode, I'm going to walk you through the exact steps from start to finish on creating a digital product, how to come up with it, how to find your audience, how you should price it. Everything you need to know is going to be in this episode. Now, I want y'all to know that people pay good money for what I'm about to tell you, especially I know there's coaches out there that charge people, for a consultation to talk about this for an hour. So you are getting this information for free today. And I really hope you take advantage of all of this goodness I'm about to give you, because it is what I teach my students. It's what people pay for. So you are getting VIP treatment today to learn how to make money online. So in today's episode, I really want to start out with a bang. I think if you're really going to monetize, we need to talk about how to do that, how to create your offer. So I think it's important for me to brief you a little bit on my own personal story with monetization in case you missed last season. Of course, you can always go back to season number 1. I think it was episode 1, 2, or 3. I know it's not really helpful, but one of those, I really walked through my creator journey. So how I was starting with social media, how I got involved with Instagram, how I made my first $10,000 within the first 30 days of launching. So you can kind of get that as background. If you want to listen to that after this episode, I highly recommend it if you haven't already. But it was a magnificent experience for me. I never knew that I could make money launching a digital product. I mean, we always talk about, Shopify stores and physical products that you can buy, but who knew that you can make money with digital products? So whenever I talk to people about making money online, there's 2 ways that I really push people. One is selling your time, which we will talk about in the future in season 2. And I've talked about it before too, again, in season number 1, but we'll get really nitty gritty with it this season. But that's selling your time, coaching, consulting. But what is easier than that is digital products. You make a product, you set it up for sale, and then you kind of set it and forget it, and you make money while you sleep. It's passive income. Now, do I just set it and forget it? No, I'm pretty much going in there quarterly and beefing it up and updating it so that it's always evergreen. But we'll talk about that today during this episode. So let's see. With the launch of my digital product, I want y'all to understand, as a creator who is trying to monetize on social media, there's typically different tiers that you can offer. So for me, my signature offer as social marketing queen is my social media agency. We do done for you social media management. That's my high ticket offer. It's an investment. It's big ticket. Not everyone is willing to pay for it. So I knew I needed to come up with something that was more mid-level. Today I offer a couple of different digital products, a membership, a digital download. I've got a course, but for today's sake, we're going to focus on creating a digital download / offer. This is great for newbies, and it's even maybe you're a seasoned business owner and you've just never put something out like this. It's going to be great for you too, because it's going to help you add revenue to your portfolio. So without further ado, let's get in today's episode. Now, one caveat to that, if you are a first timer here, I'm Caitlin Rhodes. It's really nice to meet you. I'm really, really happy to have you. If you listen to today's episode and you like it, please go ahead and download the podcast, leave me a review. That is the best way for us to measure the success of my show. And I really, really enjoy doing this. None of this costs you a dime. So if you want to support me in a little way, please go download this podcast. All right, so we are breaking down today's episode into 3 different parts because there is a lot to building a digital offer, how to research it, how to price it, all that goodness. So I'm going to break it down. I'm going to break it down for you guys so that it's easy for y'all to digest and understand. So today we'll talk about how to create your digital offer, and then we'll talk about how to price it so that you can make that money. So first and foremost, let's get into part 1, where you are finding the right digital product. So how do you know what's actually going to work, what's actually going to sell, what's actually going to make money? Well, there's a couple ways that you can figure all of that out. So first, you need to identify who is it that you even want to sell to. Okay, this is probably the hardest step out of all, but once you figure out who your target audience is, then you'll be able to find an offer that fits them well. So the best way to do this, I typically tell people, is to follow your passion. Like, what are you good at? What do you love? What makes you happy? What are some of your hobbies? Because sometimes you can really lean into helping people do something that you already love to do because you already know everything there is to know about it. So for the sake of today's episode, I'm going to use an example throughout so that you have like a real life example to fall back on. And today we're going to be a fitness creator, which I am not a fitness creator. Just so you guys know, I try to work out, but I don't get in there all the time. So this one's going to be fun for me, but I have some cool ideas, and any business niche can kind of take off from these examples that I'm going to give you. So first, let's just decide, we're a fitness creator. What can I offer my people? So real life example for you. You are a yoga teacher. You are a social media coach. You are a realtor. What is something that you could offer your audience? How do you even know what they want? So this is the fun part. Option 1 is to tap into your social media following. So we're just going to say you're on Instagram. We're going to use Instagram polls to find out what our audience is struggling with. So example tool is Instagram stories, the polls, or the question sticker, or you can even add a poll to your reel now. So you're going to ask for your audience feedback from stories or your reel. And then how are you going to execute on this? You are going to use these polls to ask quick questions and gather some feedback. Polls and question stickers are highly engaging and they provide immediate insight, which I love. So example poll questions that you could ask your audience. 1, remember this example is a fitness creator. 1, do you prefer home workouts or gym workouts? That's the poll sticker. It's 2 little questions. I'm asking if they want gym workouts or home workouts. That's going to help me identify if people are more so working out at home or they're going to the gym. Next little poll, I'm going to put like 3 different questions up for my audience on my stories. So that's the first question. Second question, would you be interested in a meal guide along with a workout plan? And then my answer there could be yes to meal guide, yes to workout plan, yes to both. Figure out what they're really looking for because they might only want one or the other, and then you don't have to do all the work for all of it. And then last question, are you more focused on weight loss or muscle gain? That's going to tell you if they're looking to lose weight or if they're really looking to build muscle. And then if you want to use the question sticker here, you can flat out ask, what is your biggest obstacle in staying consistent with your business routine? So you just put out these questions to your audience. You're going to let them ride for a little bit and get some answers, okay? Now, let me just say, if you're first starting out as a creator, you don't have a lot of followers, there's another way to do this, and we'll talk about it in a minute. But what you could do here is level up your engagement a little bit so that you're starting to give more engagement out to your community and you'll start getting people to engage with you. So then you can get people answering your polls and questions. That's a side note, not really something we're going to get into today about engagement. I have some episodes on that if you need it from season 1. But typically, if people are not getting any feedback on their polls, it's because they are not engaging with other people on Instagram. So you got to give to get. So remember that. Now, let's say you don't want to use polls. You want to go look at your past posts and see what's really worked well. So obviously you're going to have to do some posting before you can get to your social media insights. So say you're brand new, your first step here is going to be to post maybe for like 2 weeks minimum, but 30 days. Get some posts out there, post once a day, start seeing what people are liking, what are they engaging with, what's getting the most views. That's going to help you identify what people are resonating with so that you can sell something towards that. So your tools for this would be Instagram Insights or Facebook page insights. You can go in there and analyze your Instagram and Facebook post, understand the demographics of your audience. If you've got more males than females, understand their age, understand where they're at. And then you'll also be able to see like common themes, like maybe you post a lot about home workouts and you're noticing that those videos are getting more views and engagement versus you saying what you ate in a day. So that's something that you can test out. Now, you want to synthesize this information so that you can come up with a couple of offers. So you're going to look at your data. After you've posted your polls or after you've posted for 30 days, you're going to go look at the data. So first, insights from your polls. Majority of your audience struggles with finding time to work out and needs quick, effective home workouts. There's a strong interest in meals plans and beginner-friendly routines. So that's what we just gathered from the polls that I posted. I'm noticing that a majority of my audience struggles with finding time to work out. Now, let's say I use my social media to analyze this. I'm looking at my past posts. I can see that I have high engagement on posts related to home workouts and healthy recipes. That's indicating that there's a demand for comprehensive fitness guides that include both workout routines and nutritional advice. They're wanting workout and nutrition, okay? So based on your research here, based on our polls, based on our social media posts, we can understand that our audience is in need of workout ideas from home, meal plans, or maybe beginner-friendly workouts and guides. So let's back this up a little bit because, again, I told you guys, not everyone's going to get a response from their polls. And if that's you, I want you to know that there are other ways to find your audience. If you don't want to post for 30 days, if you cannot wait to do that, then what you can do is you can go look at your competitors in the industry. You can analyze their social media. You can kind of scope out what their posts are about, who are they targeting, what's the engagement like on that, are they getting comments, are they getting feedback, what gaps in the market can you fill out? Maybe you're seeing a lot of your competitors are doing this one thing, so you see that there's a need for this other thing. So again, if you don't have the data, if you don't have the polls, if you don't have the social media posts, go ahead and do industry research or competitor analysis. I guess they kind of one in one. All right, so we're going to pretend that we analyze the polls and the posts that we shared. And after going through all of that information, I've decided that I'm going to create a digital PDF guide that serves busy women who are struggling with their fitness and nutrition. One, that's what I'm passionate about. Two, I want to help women. Like, you might look into your demographics and see, I don't know, maybe you're equal between men and women. So in that case, you can, if you want to narrow it down to just women because you're more comfortable that way, that's totally fine. If you want to just narrow it down to men because you're more comfortable that way, that's fine too. So you, at the end of the day, get to choose kind of who you're talking to. So I've got my PDF guide. I'm going to title it 30-Day Home Fitness and Nutrition Guide for Busy Women. Easy, to the point. You can understand what you're going to get if you buy that. So the PDF that I'm making, after doing some competitors research and seeing what was out there, I'm going to have this PDF guide that's kind of like this bundle of things. So you're going to have workouts, quick little workouts that you can do from home with minimal equipment, meal plans that are easy to follow because we've got women who are on the go, and then motivational tips too, because they need strategies to stay consistent and motivated throughout my program. So your first step in creating your digital offer is done. You have validated your idea by confirming that there is a need for your niche, and you found and researched your audience and their struggles. So you decided on a product that could solve some of their problems, and you even chose a name. So look at all you've done. Be very proud of yourself because this is going to be processes. Remember, processes. Now, if you need some help creating like a good title for your guide, you can always go to ChatGPT, just kind of fill him in on some context of what you're doing, what you're offering, what it's going to have, and he can give you some cool title ideas. I have used him more than once to help me name an offer before because I'm just not that creative with names sometimes. So don't feel bad to go into ChatGPT and ask him for help there. Okay, so now we're moving on to step number 2. You've got your idea. Now we're going to actually create this product. This is where a lot of people get stuck. They have this wonderful idea, but they don't execute on it. So this is your sign, ladies and gentlemen. Go create whatever you've been thinking about creating. It's time. It's easy. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do it. So the best way for you to get started is to start. bet you didn't know I was going to say that. So start jotting down your notes, create a little outline, going over what all information you want to give them. Remember, we had kind of gone over that you were going to give workouts, meal plans, and motivational tips. So you can kind of outline your little piece of paper or maybe a Google document with all of your ideas there. We need to understand what are the pain points that our audience has and how we are going to solve them, because when it comes to promoting this product, you're going to have to talk about those pain points and solve their problem. So outline it all. I like to use Google Docs, but if you're better at putting your ideas to paper, by all means, grab your notebook. Outline it all. And then again, this is where ChatGPT comes in. So you've got your outline done. Now you could take that outline and go pop it into ChatGPT and just kind of say like, hey, I'm writing this PDF guide for busy women. Here's my outline. Can you help me put together like a full on guide for these women? Now, keep in mind, ChatGPT cannot create your entire product because people will know that ChatGPT created that entire product. So you have to put you inside of your offer. There are things that you know as the expert, as the person who's passionate about it, that ChatGPT is not going to be able to talk about. So once you've got your content in line, you've written it all down, everything that you're going to include inside of this offer, you're going to put it into ChatGPT. Then ChatGPT is going to write something out for you. Then you're going to copy what ChatGPT says and paste it into a brand new Google document. Once you have that new Google document, that's when you're going to go in and put in your own flair. You might want to remove some things that you don't agree with, because sometimes ChatGPT says stuff that we don't even agree with. So you really need to go in there and proof what it's saying, make sure that you understand it, make sure that you agree with it, and really get your content all together. And then the next step there is to proof it. This is a step that a lot of people skip out on, and it can hurt your credibility, guys, if you are not proofing your product. So once you have your copy together, I want you to proofread it yourself. I want you to give it to a colleague or a friend. I want you to send it to your grandmother. And then I want you to put it back into ChatGPT and ask him to proof and edit it for you as well. It 1000% turns me off when I buy something and there are spelling errors. Like, I spent time buying your product and you didn't even have the audacity to proof it. So you need to make sure that you are going in there and really making sure this is a legitimate offer, okay? It's not just something you threw together. You actually went through and edited it, and it's good to go. Okay, so your content is ready to go. Now it's time to think about, how are you going to illustrate this content? How are you going to provide it to your audience? I personally love using Canva because they have a ton of templates that they literally get you started. So like if you go into Canva and you type in like fitness guide, it will show you a bunch of different templates that are different vibes. Like there might be like the cool girl aesthetic, there might be like the manly aesthetic, whatever it is you're going through, there's a lot of templates that it will give you. And then you can click on one and start really making it your own. Now, it's important for you to brand your offering with your own brand colors, your own fonts, your own photos. So if you are brand new to this and you don't have a brand kit, let's just pump the brakes for a bit and let me walk you through how to do that. So I personally love using Pinterest to help me with branding inspiration. That's how I built influence, really, was going over to Pinterest. So you can head on over to Pinterest, kind of type in what your vibes are, and then put the word branding behind it and kind of see what pops up. If you don't want to use Pinterest, you can also go to Canva. Canva has like kind of ready-made brands that you can pick from. It's really just like color palettes and font combos. So, either or, Pinterest, Canva, whichever you want to do, but pick one that matches your vibe, that really will portray your brand. And you're going to want to use that, now and for the future. Because one thing about branding is it helps people to identify you. Like, you start to pop out because they get used to that branding and they know like, oh, this is one of Caitlin's products because it's got the black, white, and red and funky stuff that she's got going on. I guess that's the only way to call my brand is funky. I'm working on a rebrand right now for Social Marketing Queen. Side note, I really love Call Her Creators branding. I made that up all on my own from looking at Pinterest, kind of going, I knew I wanted like a funky vibe. So I think I went into Pinterest and typed in like funky vibe branding, truly. And so I was seeing like lime greens and fuchsia pinks and all that. I ended up choosing like lime green, navy, and a pink color. There's some people out there that are like, oh, I just want to attract women. So they'll go full on girly branding. But I knew that I knew my main audience would be women, but I didn't want to single out my men either, because if you're a man listening to my podcast, like, I praise you for being here and listening to me and taking my advice. And I don't ever want to turn you away, because I still want to serve you too. So anyways, that's a tangent for you guys, but branding is very important to me, especially as a social media owner. And we see 10,000 times better results when people have their branding on point. We will not work with anyone that doesn't have branding on point. So if you want to level up and you want people to take you seriously, get your branding in line. Okay, now back to our regularly scheduled program. Once you're ready for the next step, it's design time. So it's time to get into Canva, input your information, add in your photos for extra humanization, and especially to help your target audience achieve their goal. So example here, if you've got the fitness PDF, you could sprinkle in photos of your recipes or maybe before and afters to really show off how you use this guide yourself and it worked. Anything that makes it eye-catching and makes people trust the process even more is like chef's kiss. Also, pro tip here, you really have to watch your back when it comes to copycats and digital offers, because people will buy your digital offer and completely rip it off if you don't have any protection things in place. So I plan to have a lawyer on the podcast soon that I've been talking to, and I love her. I love her information. She's really specialized in social media. But the best way to avoid people from buying your product and reselling it is to include a copyright notice. So I've been including this on all of my digital products, my membership, everything to protect myself and my company. So place a clear copyright notice within your digital product. This should typically be on the first page or the screen, and then in the footer too on every page so that they see it and it's not hard to find. And the notice should include the copyright symbol, the year of publication, your name or the name of your business, and then a statement of rights reserved. You can also add a terms of use agreement, which I have for my products as well. Terms of use basically means like, how can they use your product? So what you want to do there is you want to outline what users can and cannot do with your product, and then maybe specify that unauthorized distribution, copying, or modification is prohibited. That way, if they decide to copy your crap, you can go after them. So we've talked about researching your audience and your offer, coming up with that offer, naming that offer, writing all the content for that offer, and then designing it in Canva. So at this point, your offer should be pretty complete. You've brainstormed your idea, you've gathered the information, you've confirmed that it's a viable offer, you've outlined your ideas, you've wrote the copy, you've designed everything. So now comes the tricky part, but I'm hoping this will help you. It's pricing your offer. It does not have to be as hard as you think, and I'm going to give you guys some strategy for doing this. But the first thing to keep in mind is that you want to set the right price for your digital product, or else it's not going to sell. So you can't put like this astronomical number on it and expect it to sell. You really have to kind of do your research and maybe price it competitively. So when setting the price for your digital product, it's crucial to balance your value, your audience, and your competition. So first, you want to consider the value that your product offers. Reflect on the problem it solves, the benefit it provides, and how it enhances your customers' lives or businesses. A high value product can command a higher price, obviously, especially if it offers unique solutions or premium content. Next, you need to understand your audience's willingness to pay. This is a big factor. So you're going to want to research their purchasing power and spending habits and align your pricing with their expectations and their financial capabilities. So whoever your offer is for, that's why it's so important to understand who your audience is you're going to have to see, like, do they have the extra income to buy your offer? Maybe they don't make a lot of money. Maybe like their full-time jobs, they don't make too much. They don't spend too much. So you want to keep your offer cheap. So just make sure that you are understanding who you are selling to. Another tip here is to analyze your competition. Look at similar products in the market and assess their pricing strategies to yours, and that way you can ensure if your price is competitive. This is exactly how I priced my membership. I kind of went through and saw what other people were offering in their memberships and what they were priced at, and I gathered all that information to help me price my membership. I honestly think I'm undercharging for my membership, but it's what I'm comfortable at. And I've got a pretty good retention rate in my membership, so I think we're at a good sweet spot. Yeah, something to keep in mind. Okay, so setting the right price for your PDF. So our offer is a 30-day home fitness and nutrition guide for busy women. Here's how you can set the price for your digital product by considering value, audience, and competition, okay? So the value of the product. Your fitness PDF offers a comprehensive plan. It's got 20-minute home workouts, healthy meal plans that they can't just find off of Google, and then motivational tips from you. So it solves a common problem for your audience, and then it's helping them find time to stay fit and eat healthy amidst a busy schedule. So this guide is well designed, it's easy to follow, provides a holistic approach to fitness and nutrition. Based on this, you in your heart believe that the guide provides at least $50 worth of value. Ooh, $50. Imagine selling 100 of those. You just made $5,000. Now, should we price it at $50 just because you think it's $50? I don't know. Let's keep going. So you need to understand your audience. Your Instagram followers are mostly women aged 25 to 34 who are interested in fitness and wellness. Through your surveys and your polls, you've learned that they're willing to invest in fitness solutions that are convenient and effective. However, they prefer affordable options and they have budget constraints. So with that in mind, is $50 going to be viable for them? I don't think so. So based on this insight, you might want to go down a little bit. So that's where I believe that $20 to $30 range would be more appealing to them while still reflecting the value of your offer. And then, you can also, like we said, analyze your competition. You can research similar products that are offered by other fitness gurus or brands, and maybe you see that they're selling them anywhere between $15 and $40. So with that information, you should be able to price yours competitively around $25. I think that is a great starting point. That's where I started when I did my first digital offer and made my first 10K. $25, it's like enough to say like, yes, I'm investing in this. It better be valuable, but not enough to where it's going to break the bank. Okay. So after considering all of this, your product provides, what your audience's willingness is to pay, what the competitors are pricing their stuff at, you set your PDF at $25. And this price point, it's good. It ensures that your guide is accessible to your audience. It's competitively positioned, and it is reflective of the comprehensive value that you are going to provide to them. Now, something to remember, guys, you are not locked into this price forever. I change my prices all the time. You're welcome to adjust them based on market response, based on your sales data. Maybe you launch this product and you make 0 sales within the first 30 days. You might need to go back to the drawing board. 1, either you're not marketing it correctly, or 2, maybe the price is scaring people away. So that can help you decide if your pricing is okay. You can also do surveys and polls, email people, send out DMs, ask them, once, say someone did purchase it from you, you can then say, hey, do you think this was worth the $25? Should I charge more? Should I charge less? Like, kind of get feedback from them. You might even want to ask your friends, like, say nobody buys your product the first time. Give it to a couple people that need it. Like, maybe you have some fitness friends. Give it to them and say, hey, will you check this out for me? I'm planning to sell it for $25. I don't know if I'm charging too much or too little. Let me know your true, honest feedback. And that will be helpful too. Friends love to provide feedback, especially if they can get something in exchange for free. So you could always do that as well. I also want y'all to keep in mind too, when you are selling your product, you can also do like seasonal adjustments, like maybe like it's Labor Day sale. So you do like a 1-day Labor Day sale or a limited time promotion. If they buy your guide, you will give the first 10 people a 30-minute free workout video from you, something like that. You can always do stuff to like spice it up. All right, so let's say that you launched your guide, but you want to see if you could price it higher. That's always fun, right? So like I've done this too. I sold a guide for like $17 and I was selling them out like hotcakes. So I decided, wow, this may be too cheap. Let me rev it up a little bit. So how did I do that? 1, I tracked my first month of sales. If it was like selling out crazily, that was my cue, like, hey, you could probably bump this up a tad bit. And then I also sent out customer feedback surveys to people that had bought from me and just kind of said like, hey, I want to know if you liked the guide. Was it worth the money? let me know. And then they would give me back my feedback. So from there, I was able to increase a $17 guide to a $25 guide. So just know that your pricing is not permanent and you can change it all the time, especially if you have a Stan store. What I love about Stan is like my products are locked and loaded in there, but I can change the price at any time easily. They also give you this little discounted option. So if you want to discount the price for like a week, you just toggle that little discount price on and you put it on. And so when someone goes to your Stan store, they see like the slashed old price and then the discounted price. So it kind of like psychologically makes them buy your product too. So love Stan for that. Okay, so let's just kind of summarize what we've learned today. Digital products, whether that be a guide, a PDF guide, an ebook, an online course, a printable, a template, they can all be sold online. That's what a digital product is. And I think I might have even skipped over explaining what that was in the beginning, and I'm really sorry about that. But that is what a digital product entails. It is something that they buy digitally. The benefits of selling digital offers: passive income, scalability, low overhead cost, enhanced audience engagement. So this is why I love products that are digital. Finding the right product. You're going to do that by audience research, identifying your audience's needs through surveys, polls, social media insights, understanding their pain points and preferences. And then you can also find the right product just by brainstorming. Like if you just come up with a product idea, you can go research and see if someone's already selling it. You can ask ChatGPT what he thinks about your idea. If he thinks that it's viable, he will give you really good feedback too. And then when it comes to creating the product, you'll outline it, you'll proofread it, and then you're going to create it in Canva using a pre-made template that you go in and edit to your own branding. And then pricing strategies. You're going to set the right price by doing competitive research. You're going to think about your audience and their willingness to pay. And you're going to balance those factors to really determine what the optimal price is. And then you know that you can always test and adjust pricing as you go. Mark your calendars, guys, because next week's episode, I'm going to go into part 2 of digital products and how you can actually promote them and sell them, because this is just a little piece of the puzzle, man. Like just creating your digital offer is one step, but actually selling it and promoting it is where we're going to get our hands dirty. I'm going to walk y'all through the best ways to sell and promote your products on social media. So I'm really excited about next week's episode. So again, if you like today's episode of Call Her Creator, please download the podcast, leave me a 5-star review. And the best thing you could do is send it to a friend. Send it to someone that you think it would be helpful for them to hear it, because maybe I'll change another life and that would make me really, really excited. Thanks, guys. Love y'all so much, and I'll see y'all next week.